What a season. What a season. And the best way to celebrate it is by looking back at the season. And that season is this current decade we're in. I'm Gian Ochoa. Joining me is Jeff Grubb.
Hi, I'm celebrating the season with my friends.
Dan Reichert.
My favorite seasons are 5 years long.
Exactly. That's how long this whole season and this whole year has felt. 5 years long. Mike Minotti.
Technically, it's been 6 years long so far.
Jeff Bacalar.
My favorite season is garlic powder.
Ooh.
Mike, were you one of the guys like, technically the millennium doesn't start until... Were you one of those guys?
Those people could go eat shit.
Okay.
All right. Sure. Fantastic.
Easy.
Gang, before we congregate wherever, whenever we will, to decide this year's game of the year, we partnered with our friends at Deku Deals, and we have listed our top 10 games of the decade, parentheses so far. Very important. I may have forgotten the so far part and thought a decade is longer than 10 years, but that's okay.
No, I did the same thing. Yeah.
That's what friends are for, to cover your bases. So we have all of our top 10s here that you can find on DekuDeals.com/giantbomb. Go make a list. Go save some shmoney out there. Shouts out to the Double D out there.
The Double D?
Double D.
I don't have a hat. Everyone's yelling at me.
Well, go find a hat. We're not going through your list first.
Okay. Grubb and Minotti, did you guys plan this golf hat?
Yes, I texted him this morning.
No.
I'm wearing my B Week merch. Look at that.
Ah, hell
There you
yeah.
go. I just didn't shower yet, and I was like, my hair is like a mess. I got to put a hat on for this.
That sweater looks great on you, Jan. I really like the
Thank
B-Week.
you very much. It's a very good embroidery file, I can tell.
Yeah.
So first, we got Mr. Minotti. We got your list up here. Do you want to go through from 10 to 1 your list, and then we'll chat like a couple gals splitting some wicked margs before we watch Wicked for Good.
Oh, I gotta be a good witch. I gotta get that good witch one. Yeah, sure. So look at this. It's interesting because I have 3 games from this year on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say this seems very this year heavy.
It is, but there are some very good games this year. When I look at my number 10, Hades 2, part of me is like, okay, maybe there was some recency bias when I did this because it was the game I was playing, and it is very, very good. I was liking it a ton. I do like it a ton. I played an absolute lot of that game, and it could definitely be my number 10. If I did this today, maybe I would find something else. Like even looking at other people's lists, I'm like, why didn't I include that one? Maybe, which I'll get to, but I do think
I'm not buying this.
You're not buying this? You're not
I don't
buying
believe your
82
list.
at 10?
No,
I believe your list.
This was a very good year, though, gang. So I can.
Yeah, but his list is wrong because mine's right.
Yeah,
Mike's
exactly.
wrong.
Grubbs is correct.
We're not at you yet, all right? We're not at you. Calm down. Let Mike.
Hey,
Are we talking about
Hey,
Mike's
say my
right now?
reasons
Yes.
why I disagree. I thought we were gabbing.
We're gabbing.
We're
We
gabbing. You
the
can
margs
gab.
haven't
You can
arrived to the
gab.
table yet, all right?
Oh, shit.
It's
Okay,
too
my
early
bad.
for Margs, Jan. I'm sorry.
Look, I mean, I think Hades 1 is probably on a lot of people's lists. I see actually Hades 1 more just kind of scrolling up. I think Hades 2 is just a better Hades 1, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
I think like the only thing maybe not quite as good is maybe the story. Maybe just because Hades 2 does have to do some time stuff, and of course some of that gets a little goofy at the end. They even redid the ending to try to make it less nonsensical. But I think that I like the weapons more in Hades 2. I like the way spells and stuff like that work. I love that you have the down path and the up path. So I think the bosses are even better.
You like the weapons more in Hades too, huh?
I think I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I like a lot of these weapons in Hades too. I was a big fan of those wands that are basically like little like
That was my least favorite weapon in the whole game.
Yeah, I love the wands and I like those.
Once you get a good build for them, Dan, it is just hold the button and then like
I always had good runs of
earlier.
those. Yeah.
Was that when
Yeah.
you hold them and they go boom, 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 boom? They do that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you can get a good one with that. Yeah. It might surprise you, Mike. I did not pick up on the time element of this one. I did not know it did time stuff, but then I thought about Kronos being the bad guy, and that you could stop. You would make the domes of time. I remember that. So.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, there's time shenanigans that happen later. Ooh, like the Gundam back thing. I think in general this game emphasizes ranged a bit more. And I guess just going back to the Diablo roots of this one, that makes me feel a bit more like in Diablo, a lot of times I'd rather play maybe a ranged character than somebody with an axe. Who knows? Depends on my mood. But yeah, I think Hades 2 is great. It got in at number 10 there. Number 9 is last year's game of the year for us, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I like Metroidvanias a lot. It's pretty much my favorite genre. In fact, looking at my list, you'll hear more from that genre in a bit. This game is just fantastic. I still think it has the best 2D combat I've ever experienced in a game. Even like after we got some really good 2D combat this year with stuff like Shinobi.
Yeah.
I think Prince of Persia: Lost Crown is just on another level of how that feels. And it also has amazing platforming, just an incredible array of abilities and upgrades. Not too much holding it back. I don't drag on the stories, but to some people, but it certainly isn't a highlight of the game. But gosh, it just feels so freaking good to play that. Another 2025 banger at number 8, Clear Obscure Expedition 33, which whether it wins like game of the year or not, it certainly seems to be the game of the year, right? Like this is, I think, the game that people have been talking about the most.
This is
kind of,
I've probably seen the most Halloween costumes for this game.
Really?
In comparison to like other years where like a game
kids?
blows up. No, like people
not in
like
kids.
our demo, like our age
like
group.
costume
Yeah.
parties.
Yeah,
and stuff.
costume
Okay,
parties. Yeah, not the little
Yeah.
gimmicks out there.
no, they're all roomy.
Toddlers dressed like what was the fucking hairy guy's name?
I was gonna say CL. I'm like, I don't think we're talking about the same person.
Spedworth.
Gustav?
No, Gustav's not
No.
hair. I mean, he's hairy, but
Oh,
the guy
Like,
who's
yeah,
like
the
literally-
honeycomb monster. Yeah.
Monaco.
Minoko. Minoko.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Monaco's the city. Minoko is the feet freak. He's the feet freak. I liked Clear Obscure a lot. I'm still like trying to figure out where it's going to place in my top 10 because it could be 1, it could be 2. My really only complaint with the game was some of the balancing stuff towards the end, where
Yeah.
kind of it got pretty easy, and I think it. I like that the game has a lot of post game stuff, but I think your final boss should still be one of like the 2 or 3 hardest fights in the game, not maybe like the 7th or 8th. But great story, great music. Silk Song I have at number 7. So like don't like even like right now I'm looking at this. Is Silk Song my game of the year over Expedition 33? I don't know. It's still kind of be a toss up between these two.
I wish you wouldn't lie.
I'm not
Mm.
lying, but look, you asked me again in a year, I might feel differently. I mean,
So you're
think
lying
last
to Deku Deals. Deku Deals. You're lying to the fine
we're
folks
not
there.
to lie to business partners, right? That's fine.
That's
No.
illegally, yeah.
We're not allowed.
Oh.
So, but I'm just telling you, if on your list for this year, if Expedition 33 lands above Silk Song,
You're fired.
you're a liar.
I'm
You're
No,
gonna
I'm
head to
just-
HR.
No, I am just a dynamic person. I am
Okay.
constantly thinking about
so,
things.
So we will see some overlap once we crunch the numbers that Deku Deals did, and we can have further conversations about this once we get to the top 10 of all of us together. Mike, please continue down your list.
Silk Song freaking rules. I love Metroidvanias. I think this game has the best atmosphere of maybe any Metroidvania. I love that it should be silly, like all these little bug people, and it takes itself dead seriously. There's like some little silly moments, but mostly it's kind of it's not like dark in a kind of gross way, but it's dreary and it's kind of unnerving. The 2D combat is just so simple in this, but satisfying. It's not like Lost Crown where there's all these combos and things. You basically just kind of whoop, whoop, but it's real fast. Whoosh, whoosh. And you're just kind of really trying to find
a
the windows
needle.
when you can swoosh. You got to needle them when you can. And it's such a huge game. It's insane how big it is for a Metroidvania. So Silk Song, super cool, super impressive. Tears of the Kingdom's number 6. I think I am on the on Team Tears of the Kingdom. I like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom a lot.
I'm
of
with
course,
you, buddy.
they're
Yeah,
great
that makes
duology.
sense.
I
You're-
think
You're right.
I think
Mm.
that I like even just having a slight bit more of some story stuff here. I don't need a ton of that in Zelda, but I liked having a little bit more of it. I thought that all the construction stuff was super fun. Just kind of, it added an unexpected and neat dynamic to the game. Tears is amazing. Other people are going to talk about that one a bit more. Number 5 is Elden Ring. I think a lot of people probably liked that one. What's funny is I don't think I got super into FromSoft until Elden Ring. I think going that open world route was super smart, super satisfying. It's one of those games that you kind of can't forget about, right? Like I'm still constantly comparing things to that experience. Just an incredible world, just memorable bosses. Gosh, I hope we get another Elden. They should make an Elden Ring too. Is that bold? Is that brave of me to say?
Did Night Rain hit with you at all?
No, not really, not really. And I'm a little surprised that it took off like it did. Am I like when I tried it, I was like, I don't think the Elden Ring people are gonna like this. Then they all seem to like it, so maybe I need to try it again. Number 4, Metroid Dread. Hey, that's Metroidvania number 3. Yay! Metroid. Metroid is one of my favorite series. I didn't think we would get a 2D Metroid this good again, ever. They really like upped. As much as I love Metroid games, I don't necessarily associate them with great movement. But Samus moves in this game with all the running and the sliding and like that short teleportation dashes. I love having parries in a Metroid game. For some reason, that feels surprisingly amazing. I'm a bit of a parry freak, I've discovered this year, especially playing Sekiro finally this year. I'm like, boy, parries, that's the mechanic. Every game should have wall running and parries, and I think it's just automatically gonna be a good video game.
Agreed.
So yeah, yeah. Number 3 is Astro Bot. This was my game of the year last year. I love a good 3D platformer, and this game is just absolutely joyful, vibrant, super fun, super creative. The running around, the jumping feels amazing. It's a beautiful game to look at. I like all the fun sort of, remember when PlayStation was good stuff that they pepper throughout the game? Even the post-release content with all the challenge levels and the speedrun stuff and the extra characters has been amazing. Just an absolutely amazing one of these. Like, my only thing is maybe I wish it was a little harder, but whatever. I'm not that upset about that. Number 2. Okay, this is it. This is number 4. Metroidvania. We're almost done. I love Ori and the Will of the
I
Wisps.
never knew that about you, Mike.
Yeah, right. It's right here. If you look at my Deku Deal likes, the first thing it says is Metroidvania. Oh, number 2 is parrying. That makes sense. Gosh, you can learn a lot about me. I can't wait to learn about Jeff Grubb later.
You guys met?
One thing I can guarantee, it's going to be very informative about me.
Yeah. Gosh, Will of the Wisps is maybe the prettiest game ever. I just absolutely love the magical, scary forest vibe of all of it. And the soundtrack just matches that. One of my all-time favorite OSTs. Ori's movement with that the bash ability is maybe the all-time great Metroidvania ability where you can jump on an enemy, grab them, and shoot them like a projectile, but then shoot yourself the other way to do more platforming. So many good sequences of escapes or boss fights. I liked Blind Forest a lot, but this game making the combat a bit more interesting and adding like those more traditional boss fights that still felt super satisfying. One of my favorite final boss fights in any video game as well. So Ori One the Wisps is fan-freaking-tastic. The number 1, the undisputed best game of the decade so far is Resident Evil 4, the remake. The best game with shooting mechanics I probably ever played. I don't know if shooting things has ever felt better than it does in Resident Evil 4. It's just insanely slick, impeccably paced. Maybe the best paced video game ever. Just constantly going from an interesting encounter to more of a puzzle area to more of a enemy rush to a cool boss fight to something unexpected like a minecart chase.
Yeah.
You do parry in this game as well, Mike. So
you can parry with a knife. You can use a knife to parry a chainsaw.
It's the toughest parry, though, I think.
It's a tough parry window, but it's very satisfying when you get that off. Like, this was a game, like, I just played through it like 6 times. And just like each time, like, yeah, like, because each time it's like you unlock stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, when?
Yeah. When it came out, and I just kind of
You played through it 6 times?
Because like it's like first you're like, oh no, now see if you can beat it on the slightly hard difficulty. Then see if you can do that, and it's getting an S rank to the point where you do it on the hardest difficulty in a relatively quick amount of time, so you get the S+ rank. And God, it felt good.
So what window of time did you complete this game 6 times?
It was relatively like all within like the first 3 months it came out, I think. I just kind of
it's a good one for that. Like, I rarely restart a game right after I beat it, but like those RE remakes, like right after, I'm like, well, okay, now I got to play through with this. Now I got to try to get this thing. So I get it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then once,
And, like,
and you
how
know
much quicker-
the game,
yeah.
Mike.
No,
Yeah,
I
like
know. I
when
think
you go-
6 to me is where I'm losing the thread a little bit. I think, like, how do you do it? How much faster does it take you the second to 6 times?
So a lot of those, like, so first of all, you can skip cutscenes. And when you know what you're doing, that's another thing. But also, you unlock abilities for some of those runs, like unlimited ammo and things like that, that let you mow through things. Now, for that
Gotcha.
final one, to get the S plus, you have to turn a lot of that stuff off, and it has to be a pretty pure run. But like, it just kind of made going through the game and becoming a master of the
Goddamn.
game. I did do a similar thing with like Metroid Dread, even, because it gave you like basically desktop backgrounds from different Metroid games when you beat it. So I like games that kind of do that sort of thing. But yeah, there you go. Resident Evil 4. That's the best game of the decade so far.
I'm surprised that you are into it as much, because like you strike me as someone that, like, you don't like violence, you don't like realistic gore and stuff like that, and like that's a pretty, like, some of the deaths in that are pretty grisly.
Video games is not the same for him.
Video games is, but the only
Yeah.
part of it that actually bothers me is the very beginning when they show those poor hikers getting murdered by the cult. I'm like, that's mean.
There's a lot of mean stuff in that game.
Yeah, I guess I feel
quite a
bad
bit.
for your driver that gets burned on a stake too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as brutal as like some of the other stuff. I mean, it's up there, but I think there's more brutality, and I guess maybe also the sort of like age of this thing and how long all the stuff inside of it has been out there for, almost 20 years or so, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's kind of
it's been a
old
while.
hat,
Yeah. But it's probably just exposure, but I am much less impacted by video game violence than movie violence. That's for sure.
Okay.
Sure, I'm with you there.
Dan, let's go to you next. I don't want to do mine right now.
Okay. We'll go to me.
Oh, I think your list might be the most normal. Jim.
Mine?
I think
Jan.
mine is weird.
No, mine is no. Listen, you're all cowards and simpletons for not putting my number 10 on here, which you see, Returnal. Yeah, unbelievably slept on. This is one of the best roguelites of all time, one of the best action games. Like, this is a tremendous, from the moment I like moved her around and felt that dash, I was like, okay, well, this is a perfect feeling game. And it continues as you play through the boss fights, the bullet hell stuff in a 3D space. It's Housemarque kind of doing their thing, but in a much kind of bigger and grander way. And I think it works better than anything they've ever done before. Returnal was my game of the year, I believe, in the year. I don't know. I'd have to look back. Wait, what year was that? 2020?
I don't know, but I think you're the only one who has Returnal on their list at all.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're all cowards and fools, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
2021 for Returnal. It turns out.
2021, was it my number one? I got them all pulled. Oh, it was my number 2. Okay, what was number 1?
What's number 1 that year? I guess we'll find out. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, it is actually above it on this list. Yes, Returnal's incredible. Can't wait for Soros?
Soros.
George Soros.
George Soros.
Sauron.
The name of the game is
Soros?
literally George Soros.
Okay, so I can't wait for George Soros. That's going to be good. Number 9, I'm also a Metroidvania perv like Mike Minotti. Prince of Persia, I think we all gave it a ton of love last year for our Game of the
yes,
Year.
that was last year.
Yes, and I loved that. Like, I don't think I would have ever expected that to be our Game of the Year. And I remember sitting there and us all kind of talking about it and like seeing it kind of dawn on everyone that like, oh, I think this is going to be our Game of the Year, and I think that's a very cool one and very well earned. Metroid Dread, a lot of these Mike has touched on. Go ahead.
I'm so surprised that I didn't know that everyone was such a big fan of Dread. I thought that it was a game that just came and went.
It's fantastic. No, it's fucking
super
great.
good.
Okay.
It's
It's one
one
of
has
those-
some issues, like the map is maybe not super amazing and the music's not up to Metroid stuff, but it's great.
Yeah, it's one of those that every time I think about, it's like I need to go back and play that. And especially now that I'm very much in a Metroid mindset, maybe that'd be a fun thing at some point over the break to play after Prime 4. But yeah, they killed it. It's one of those things that you thought we were never actually going to get because people have been yelling at it for a long time, but it increasingly seemed like a small fan base in Nintendo's eyes that they didn't really care to serve, but then they did, and it kicked ass. So yes, love Metroid Dread. Balatro, I mean, I don't need to, like, everyone knows Balatro. Everyone knows what makes it special. Just what a killer concept pulled off as perfectly as they possibly could have. I had not heard of it until Jan mentioned, like, oh, this is going to be a problem for me. And then I downloaded it and, like, within 10 minutes knew that, like, oh, of course, yes, all right, this is going to take over the world. And it did. And then it went to mobile. And I literally this morning came downstairs and I saw Bonk playing Balatro on her phone. And I said, hey, remember when it came out on phone? And you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't download that. I'm probably going to play this all the time. And she's played every morning for the last, like, however, since it came out. Yeah, it's I hesitate to call it a problem because it's still super duper fun. Number 6, Vampire Survivors. No, the Balatro could be. No, it's not
It's
a
just
problem.
a fun way to describe like your definition. Like, well, a lot of things are fun that are bad.
Yeah, heroin's pretty fun.
Whoa, you took it there.
It's got to be awesome for people to get that into it.
We don't advocate heroin use.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's we were saying, but fun things can be bad. That's the whole point of that conversation.
It's bad for you. It
or
is,
eating
yeah,
too much
historically.
cake. Heroin
yeah.
cake. Same
Never
thing.
hurt anybody.
Yes. Vampire Survivors. Also, like a lot of these, I'm looking at this list, and everything I have here is just the ones that are just giving you that shotgun blast of dopamine, like every 2 seconds. Vampire Survivors, maybe the most of any of those. It sounded like a parody, not a parody game, but it sounded like almost like a meme thing when I think it was Mike and Mary were describing it to me, and they're like, "Yeah, you don't even shoot, you just move around." I was like, "Okay, is this like some joke game thing or some meme or something like that?" And then I played it, and it's like it is surprising how much actual depth there is to Vampire Survivors once you really dive into all the challenges and evolutions, and then they start layering all the DLC and like the Castlevania thing, and like, God damn it, this really like it. It almost seems like it inspired a genre. Like you see that now with, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor and Rotato and Rogue Genesia. Like there's a million popping up now. Yeah, Megabunk, which Megabunk is one of mine for this year for sure. So yeah, love Vampire Survivors. Astrobot, I've always been a mark for 3D platformers. This is, Mike mentioned it being a little easy. It is in the way that, like, I don't know. We were just watching Sean play a bunch of Mario 64 over the weekend, and like, his moveset, Mario's, even in a game from 1996, is like simple yet complex in a way that is crazy that they pulled off in their first 3D Mario. And then you compare it to like Astrobot. He's like, well, he's got the hover. He doesn't have as many things as like Mario. So like, I would like maybe a little more complexity in his abilities. But in terms of the level design, I think, when you look at the speedrun levels and how hard we got into a few of those, like, that's where it really shines. Like, I wouldn't call them complex necessarily, but they're just like impeccably designed, and you can do a surprising amount of things considering how limited Astrobot's moveset is. Number 4, Hades 2. I absolutely think Hades 2 is a step above Hades in every possible way. I think the going up and going down thing is key to that, and it mixes it up. Like, I knew you had to beat the first Hades like 10 times to like beat it. But I never did that. I like beat Hades once. I'm like, all right, I think that was the goal. Like I beat the big bad boss at the end. I don't get why doing it 10 times would make this any different. This one made me compelled to go, and it's like, okay, well, I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to go up and down. I don't care if I do it a bunch of times, like the weapons and all the different aspects. And it layered a smart amount of things on top of it without getting to be too much. So yes, I think best roguelite of all time. I think Hades 2. Next up, Pikmin 4. I adore the fact that I remember sitting on that stage at Game of the Year for the live thing in LA, and I love Grub going up and saying number 1 game of the year was Pikmin 4 because Pikmin's been around for a long time, and I still think it's underappreciated. They have always had the personality and just that Nintendo magic just dripping all over it. But I think it was 4 where it's just like every single thing that makes Pikmin great kind of coalesced, and even like the post-game stuff was like so substantial and cool and different that I could not stop playing this for a few weeks while it was out, and definitely the best Pikmin. And it's like kind of its own genre. There's not a lot of like, I guess there's like Tinykin and there's some other things that are somewhat similar, but like Pikmin's just Pikmin, and it's never been better than in this 4th one. So that is my number 3 game of the decade. Number 2, Tears of the Kingdom. It is one that is just kind of undeniable. Although I will say, having gone back to Breath of the Wild when the Switch 2 came out and those updates came out, I do think I used to be Team Tears of the Kingdom, and now I'm Team Breath of the Wild.
Betrayal. Wow.
Interesting.
But it is for reasons that are not really Tears of the Kingdom's fault. I mean, I guess on one hand there is the like, oh, you can't, it was your first, like if my first experience was with Tears of the Kingdom, would I feel differently? And that's, I did say when it came out that Tears of the Kingdom was like everything Breath of the Wild was, but more and better. And that is true in some ways, but also the simplicity of Breath of the Wild. Simplicity sounds bad, but it's not. There's more of just kind of a mystery to it, and it's not this big empty world. I know Tears of the Kingdom crams a ton more stuff in it, and then above and below, but I do kind of like the relative simplicity that Breath of the Wild had. Just exploring that overworld and not bogging things down. And I think about, a lot of the things, like it's my number 2 game of the decade now. I'm arguing against it. But like there's this stuff.
You're
There's a
fighting
lot of
yourself,
liars
Dan.
here. Yeah, there's just liars.
Well, I'm saying when you're comparing it to like the best game of all time, it's like, okay, here's the game. I'll talk about the good things. Above, below, there's more. It's better. Can you believe it? They improved upon. They said it couldn't be done. So it does add a lot of cool stuff. I do think the stuff they added with the Zonai things and rotating things, and Backlar, you and I went to that event in New York City, and just the first time
Oh my God,
realizing,
that's right.
it's like, oh my God, attaching rockets to this thing and going from Sky Island to Sky Island, and just like thinking about the pure just the possibility space in Tears of the Kingdom. It's just a fun toy to tinker with, and it doesn't stop being fun. And now they've added stuff where it's like you can do the quick build and stuff like that, so kind of speeding that up. But just kind of tremendous that they used technically in a way that same map, but made it feel as different as it is. So yes, huge achievement. And then number 1, Elden Ring. I don't consider myself a big From guy. I really don't. The only other one I've beaten really, well, I guess Armored Core, if you count, that's a different type of thing. But if you're talking about like Souls likes, the only one I've liked enough to play through and beat was Bloodborne. And even then, it was just one that I just kind of like, I'm just going to cheese dick my way through this. I'm going to just like
Cheese dick.
I'm going to cheese dick through it. I'm going to level up 20 times more than I should, just so I can like not have to learn how to parry. I don't know if I parried once in Bloodborne or did the crazy gun thing or whatever that was. I probably did it by accident a few times, but no, I suck ass at these games. So that even that one, I beat that one because I think I was like streaming it. I probably would have fallen off that one if I wasn't. Elden Ring, I was like, okay, I got the code for the beta thing, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll try this out. And I loaded it up. I got to, was it Margit? And it's like, okay, yeah, this is exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's a From game, but they're trying like an open world thing. Sure, I'm sure it's going to be really well made, and I'm sure it's going to be a game I respect more than I enjoy playing. And then it's just like, man, as that world keeps expanding, and there are the moments everyone knows, like, going to the treasure chest and seeing like it warps across the map, and just the breadth, like that moment of like that actual like jaw dropping, like, no, you can't be fucking serious. Like the map goes that high up. And then for me, a huge one was by the time I beat it's Stormvale there. It's Margit, and then who's big crazy hands? Who's that guy?
Oh,
yeah.
Godfrey,
Godfrick.
Godric.
Godfrick the Graphic. Yeah.
That guy. One of them.
Yeah, you kill that
Gilbert.
guy, and then there's Gilbert. When you kill Gilbert, and you're like, at that point, I feel like I was like 20 to 30 hours in. I was like a full-length game in, going through Limgrave and everything. And then I just like got out the other side, and you see like the academy and like these mountains and the tree, and it's like, no, that's not all real. That's not. There's no fucking way. I've already played a full game length, and that looks 10 times bigger than everything I just saw. It's just, man, I don't think I've ever been more surprised by a game. There are the games like Tears of the Kingdom and stuff that like I knew I was gonna fucking love those games. This one I didn't think I was gonna love, and it was just undeniable. It is. Breath of the Wild is probably my favorite game of all time, but anyone arguing that Elden Ring is a better game, I have to admit that look, there's a very solid argument for it, and I totally understand. And yeah, I don't know if it's like just Nintendo fondness or nostalgia that makes me say Breath of the Wild over Elden Ring, but god damn it, Elden Ring is good.
I would like everyone watching and listening to this to try and discern like a through line for everyone's top 10 games. Of the decade.
That's a good idea,
well,
Jan.
I had a little mini bet with myself. Was I going to have more Metroidvanias on my list than Dan had roguelikes? And we actually tied at 4 each. So
okay. Fair. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
I
We
feel
probably have to go through this a little quicker also.
Yeah, I got you. Let's go through my list. I may have forgotten the rule of 2020 onwards, but I've been doing some research. Nier Automata came to the Switch in 2022.
There you go.
So still counts. Remastered version of Spider-Man is the remastered one that released in the 2020s. Still counts.
Got on
Hitman
a
World of
technicality.
Assassination still counts. It's an ongoing game. Anyway, so my top 10 maybe a little bit different from the rest of the gang, but it's got some heaters, like some common elements here. Starting at 10, Nier Automata. If I was actually to pay attention to the rules, I would have maybe listed a different RPG, but Nier Automata, Jesus Christ, please Square Enix or whoever is listening, give Yoko Taro a game. Let him finish a game. He has a cool helmet. Let him make a weird, fanciful story about robot ladies or whatever he wants to do. Number 9 on my list is Yakuza Like a Dragon. This was definitely my entryway and my gateway drug into the Yakuza series. I've always appreciated, and I've played some of the games, but I've never played them to completion or really got into the world. I appreciated the characters of Kiryu, Majima, of course, but I think it was through the lens of Ichiban and his gang of misfits that really drew me into the world of Yakuza, and then kind of kickstarted my journey through the series and going back into it. Also, I think Ichiban is such a fantastic character, a lovable loser that doesn't give up on his dreams and everything. And you'll quickly see that I might have a thing for found families as we go through my list. Number 8, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. I think this is one of the best superhero games made, period.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Yeah, I love that game.
This is such a fantastic use of the IP, where there are other comic book video games that don't dive deep enough into the source material. And the Guardians of the Galaxy are a bunch of weird misfits that are mismatched together, and it always winds up working together. The story for me is what puts this game on my top 10 of the decade, just because of how they deal with not just Peter Quill's story of being Star-Lord and being kidnapped as a kid and thrown into space, but how all of the Guardians interact with each other and how they deal with their respective traumas together as a family. Number 7, Hitman World of Assassinations. Hitman has a very special place on this website specifically, and I just think it is amazing how IOI was able to not rescue Hitman, the original Hitman. I don't think those were bad games. I just don't think they were headed in like the best way or the best direction, and how they kind of revived the series and made it into a game that you can play as a super duper aggressive stealth assassin, or you could make Agent 47 be the goofiest motherfucker in the world. Is amazing. I love how you can spend an hour waiting for the mousetrap to be set up, or you could just go in and throw a briefcase and it acts as a heat-seeking missile to knock out a person. You quickly run over and then boop them over and then get out of there. Also, any game that you can just throw a coin to distract someone, A+ in my book. We need more coin distractions. I think if someone threw a fancy coin near my vicinity, I would be distracted and I would be confused.
Oh, yeah.
Going to number 6, Marvel Spider-Man Remastered. I was feeling maybe I should have put Spider-Man 2 or the Miles Morales DLC onto this, but I think as a whole, I think Marvel Spider-Man just sings for me. We know that I have a thing for superheroes and the MCU, and this is... I didn't quite mind when they transfigured the Peter Parker's face to kind of resemble Tom Holland more. They made him more baby man than he was originally. But Jesus Christ, I love swinging through New York. I love helping the random people. I don't care. I do care about how the stealth.
That's not
He
good.
doesn't care anymore. He's
not
over
good.
it, everybody.
No, I
That's not
was just
good.
thinking like I
he's back.
didn't mind the stealth as much as everyone else seemed to harp on the game. But Peter Parker, and holy smokes, I love Spider-Man. He's just a boy.
Spider-Man's the best. Well, when you say that he's just a boy, that's what do you mean?
Just a boy.
He's just a boy. He's just
He's
a boy.
It's just a
Oh,
boy.
you mean on the train?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like some more context is needed there when you.
He's just
Okay.
a boy.
He's just
No,
a
it's
boy.
fine. He's. I mean, yeah. Okay. How old is he then? He's probably like 17, right?
In
The
like
game,
the
he's
Tobey
like-
Maguire movies.
Yeah. What do they make him out to be? Right. This is the scene where he like stops the train, right?
Yeah. Well,
Oh, but
And
by
they're like, "Oh,
Spider-Man
I can't
2,
believe
he's
it's
like
just a little
he's-
guy. It's just a
He's
little
like
guy."
19 by Spider-Man
yeah,
2, I
he's-
feel like, right?
because he's left high school.
I mean, he's smoking and drinking. He's got to be old.
That was 3, please.
That
That's
was
when the
3.
symbiote
Right.
took over him. Come on.
and also,
bad
he was
boy.
a bad boy. He could drink. He could lie about his age.
yeah.
He's mutant
That's
because
true.
of the space.
He's Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2, great movie, huh?
If they make a Cyclops video game, how will your opinion change, Jan?
Oh, don't do this to me, Bacalar.
I'm doing it to you right now because if you just want to play superhero cop movie,
we do not have the time for me to launch into this right now.
I know. I just got finished saying how we have to speed it up. I get it.
But my answer is I wouldn't want a solo Cyclops game because I feel like the strength of the X-Men is the X-Men together.
Exactly. Plus, no one else wants it is probably the reason.
There's dozens of us. Anyway, moving on to number 5 on my list, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. I waxed poetically about this game a couple years ago in Game of the Year. My opinion maintains that I think this is such a brilliant love letter to science fiction across all the board. If you like Terminator, if you like Jesus Christ, if you like Big Gundam, you like kaiju battles, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim is for you. It's also a game that handles a large cast very well, as well as the time travel trope. Moving on, I think this may be the last. No, not really. Number 4, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Mikey, you talked about this earlier. Jesus Christ, the game didn't have to hit me on this level. Maybe it's because I was 33 when I was playing it, and I was just thinking the whole time, oh God, I'm going to get gommaged. This is it.
Yeah.
But the voice cast all across the board. This is another game where like the story really hammers it home and brings it to near the top of my list of games of the decade so far. I know that the ending kind of fell flat for some people, but I still really enjoyed it. I think
People are wrong.
People can be wrong, but people can be right, and I'm right that I think that this is one of the best games of the decade so far. Dan, you talked about this already, but number 3, Balatro. I don't think I'm good at this game, y'all.
It's okay.
I don't think I'm as good as people I've seen play this game. I know for sure that I've seen a friend of the site, Bailey Myers, play this game, and she plays this on a different level than me because I'm just like, oh, look at the numbers. Oh, cool. They're all spades. All right, cool. But then people will be on like different stakes, have completed all of them. I think Balatro has earned its seat at the table in terms of like small games that people are going to rip off for forever. It is like, I think next to shouts out to Local Thunk for not wanting to monetize this game in the way that other games could and have been, because in my head, Balatro is up there in terms of appeal in the same way that something like Bejeweled is.
That's high praise.
It deserves it. Number 2, I had a little bit of, I was hemming and hawing on this one, and I think for me, what put Hades over Hades 2 is, for me, the weapon selection. Honestly, they could have been interchangeable over here, but I think I just like the close combat of Hades 1 over Hades 2. I'm a big fan of the shield, and I know that you can throw the shield a la Captain America, but I really like just charging Chuck through those fools and then just bashing with the shield in the original Hades. Also, Hades 1, a little less horny than Hades 2. But hey, it depends on your flavor.
It's a negative, right?
And my number 1 game of the decade is Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. These two hooligans have already talked about it, but I love this game so much, despite a save kerfuffle causing me to shave my head 2 years ago. I just have very fond memories of like panically playing through this game on a train on the way to Seattle, but the whole time just trying to bask in everything, collecting all of the tears. A game that finally, Jesus Christ, the last sequence after you beat Ganondorf, and then everything that happens afterwards is just like jaw on the floor and like tears, not only of the kingdom, but streaming down my face.
Whoa.
And that is
Really?
my top 10. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Good
powerful.
for you.
I like crying, y'all. Crying is fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Some of these
It's good,
games
yeah.
have made me cry.
Mm,
Spider-Man
yeah.
made me cry.
It's okay to cry.
All right. Moving on. Let's go to Jeff Grob.
Yeah, my number 10 is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. We've talked about a bunch, but it's great Metroidvania that just does everything right. Like the exploration's fun, the combat is incredible, and the best part about it is as you get more powers, like Metroidvania style powers, those powers make all the things you're doing that much more exciting, including the exploration, including the combat. It's just incredibly well made. Number 9, this is my "you are all cowards and fools for not including this one." It's Armored Core 6: Fires of Rubicon. I think about this game every single day. It is
Really? Like how?
yes.
How's it come up? What do you mean?
Well,
He's
I just
horny
like
for the robots.
I'm horny. I'm horny for the robots. I think it's the coolest I've ever felt in a video game. I think it has the exact kind of storytelling I like, where it is, it's the voices on the radio establishing a world, and you can tell there's so much more going on, and your place in it is always constantly shifting depending on what these other characters are trying to get out of you. And they do a good job of like threading those through the missions. I've said before about that mission where you go in and you've been kicking everyone's ass. And so that the people who you've been, like, you're a mercenary, the people who you've been kicking their ass, they hire you. And they're like, you know what, we give up. We're just going to pay you to fight for us. And they send you down this corridor and you're like, there's nothing here. What's going on? And then all of a sudden, all these cloaked enemies uncloak and start attacking you, and you have to fight your way out. And it's the coolest shit I've ever experienced in a video game. That's my number 9. Number 8 is Streets of Rage 4. This is one that's like a family favorite. My wife always really liked Streets of Rage 2 and played that as a kid. And so when Streets of Rage 4 came out, we started playing that together kind of when the families would get together. And it's been able to hold up to that constant play to the point where they eventually added a roguelite mode in there that is fantastic and served as the basis for Absalom, which is one of this year's best games. And it's just so fun to constantly go back there and unlock characters. They built such a robust thing, but it's the fundamental beat 'em up gameplay that they just got right. Beat 'em ups became very rote because they were arcade style games. Here it's like, just make it a little bit more complex, give players a few more options to escape damage, to build on combos, and they do all of that exactly right. It's a fantastic game. Number 7, I went with Hades 1 as well. This is a Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom style thing where Hades 1 was just such a revelation for roguelites for me, where it's like, oh, they figured out how to do story, and they made me care about all this stuff that I normally wouldn't care about. And then on top of that, it's just mechanically, I think about getting a build where where your dodge becomes your weapon, where you can like dodge into projectiles, and that's like the way, like, you become like super offensive, and that's the way to get out of danger. And it's like, I hadn't really seen that before in a lot of other games, and now I'm like, I hope I see that in any game that has a dodge. It's like, give me the ability to build up my mechanics in such a way that I can just be like always rushing towards the enemy. Hades nailed that right away, and they have a million little tricks like that inside that game. There's a reason it's like one of the favorite among developers. Like, developers love Hades. I love Hades for the same reason. Number 6 is Resident Evil 4. Mike's right. It's the pacing. It's the pacing and just like the shooting. I don't think there's a better feeling game to shoot in than Resident Evil 4, in my opinion. And just dialing in that red laser beam on a zombie's head and watching them like pop back as you fire at them, and they play with that and eventually make enemies that it's like, oh, you love shoot them in the head. Well, we'll shift that up on you and do some other stuff and kind of force you in a situation where that might be a problem, and like now you have to deal with that. It's just such a smart game, one that I also went back to a couple times. Number 5, Balatro. Yeah, this is like a forever game. This is the forever game. It's like really like our generation's, not like Tetris even. It's like our generation's Solitaire, like a game that humans will be playing forever. Yeah. It will always be entertaining, and the fundamentals of poker being there are important, but really it's just all of the cool stuff they put on top of there. There's a reason it instantly became a genre. Balatro is the king of that genre still. Number 4 is Hard Space Shipbreaker. It's a game about breaking down spaceships, that like derelict spaceships, and you're a blue collar worker who like owes like $2 trillion in debt because of inflation, all this stuff. And so you like live on this space station, you go out and you have basically a big laser beam, and you can cut apart spaceships, but you have to be like very deliberate and follow orders of operations. Because if you were to say not disconnect the power module before you start cutting things apart, your laser beam might go through there and cause a thermonuclear explosion. And it's just a really fun game where stuff like that can happen. And then it just nails blue collar work in a sci-fi setting in a way that I will always find appealing. I like dad games. I like the movies of James Cameron, where it's like, yeah, it's sci-fi, but really the characters here are all blue collar roughnecks, and that stuff is timeless. Like those kinds of people are going to exist in the future, just like they've existed in the past. And this is a game that captures that same mentality in a way that I just really vibe with.
Grub, I so want you to be trapped in space and for your children to have to save
Me
you.
too. Thank you. Yes, that's what I want for me so
They're
bad.
too
No,
young.
I'll
It
go
won't
there.
work.
No, let's make a feature. It's me and Mitch both go out to save you, and we race to see who gets
I
you
don't
first.
want to. I almost died
yeah.
in a sauna. You think I'm going to be okay in a
I
rocket?
win.
Win.
Number 3 is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. You guys talked about it a bunch, so I'll just say like that there's a moment where you get to a puzzle where there's like a chain on the wall and it like controls this door, and the chain has actual like physical properties to it. Like it behaves the way a chain should. And there's a reason you don't like that's usually faked in games because it's really hard to do. And for this game to be like, we didn't just like figure that out. We built entire puzzles around it. Like we have a confidence in our physics systems not to break, that we're just going to like send you in there and let you mess around with that and do what you want with all of these very intricate physics objects. And it's like that confidence really just speaks to how capable the developers were when they were piecing that game together. I do prefer Breath of the Wild, but it's also like I saw someone in chat saying like you could treat them as a package. I don't really pit them against one another in my head.
No,
I'm
they
so
have to
happy we
fight.
have both of them. I know, yeah, there can be only one.
Fight.
Number 2 is Elden Ring. I think Dan did a really good job of explaining it. Like when you get through a certain part of the game and then you kind of like walk through an area and then you just see that open up again. And then you're like, oh, I'm just going to get lost in this magic school for the next 2 days of my life because it's so substantial and so I don't know. I've never been more transported by a game than I have been by Elden Ring. That was just it's not even immersion. It's just like it whisks you away. It knows how to build a world and not do that through characters that tell you about it or anything like that. It is, you could just be a little guy lost in this mythical, legendary place, and that is conveyed so well. And then it's just so fun to play. Beating bosses is incredible. It's a fantastic game. And then number 1, Pikmin 4. I think this has the best gameplay loop of any game of this decade. It is so easy to get lost in it. You go out in the world, you find a couple of Pikmin, you begin picking things up, you get a few more Pikmin, and as you're doing this, you spot, holy crap, that's a giant, like, I don't know, battery or satellite dish
Game Boy
or
Advance.
Game Boy Advance, and you're like, oh, I need so many Pikmin to do that. All right, let me go, you know what, here's a small thing. My Pikmin are going to go take that back, and on our way back, maybe we'll gather up some more resources to build more Pikmin when we get back, and we're going to start coming up with a plan. It's like, okay, the day ended, but tomorrow I have a plan. I'm going to go out there. We're going to go get that big thing, and then when you go get the big thing, you encounter like a boss or like a mini boss, and then you find another new thing out there that you're like, oh, that's even bigger, and I'm going to need even more resources to take that on, and it just builds on itself in such a natural way. Pikmin was always good. Pikmin 3 Deluxe, I think, is like when they really hit their stride of understanding what made these games fun. And then Pikmin 4 was this zenith of, oh, they perfected it. They know exactly how to get you on board with what makes this game good and keep you there throughout the entire time, to the point where it's a really hard game to put down once you start playing it. And the fact that there's like the entirety of Pikmin 1 buried in there, and that's also, it's like, I'm going to go do that. You can do that in one sitting as well. It's just such a well put together package. And another one I think about almost every day. And every time it comes up, another one that I want to go back to every time I think about it. I think it's number 1 in that category in my mind. When I think about it, I just want to go play it. And that's what makes it my number 1.
Lovely list, Grub. Now I want you to be lost in space, but still having to be like a construction foreman on a site. I feel like you really sing at that.
Let's do Armageddon 2, but it's all of us.
Yeah, I think we could do it.
They made a second Armageddon.
We're going to make
us.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God, they would be second Armageddon. Everyone's just like, oh, really? Another one?
Who
Aww.
are
Oh,
these guys?
We're so unlucky.
All right. Last but not least, Jeff Bacalar, please run us through your top 10.
Sure. I was going to say, I do think a lot of people are still sleeping on Pikmin 4.
Yeah.
they are.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think
Yes.
is a widely slept upon video game. Number 10 is Tunic. You ever remember Tunic?
I remember.
Yeah, I didn't
this
like
game.
it. Man.
Yeah, well, no one remembered it on their list. Apparently, I'm the only one remembering it because that game. I reward this game for its originality and its instruction manual dickery, which I thought was
fun.
pretty awesome.
Good dickery.
Don't forget that, right?
Dicks.
She's dickery.
Dickery. Spider-Man 2, only for Jan, and also for Dib. Dib played that very quickly, enjoyed that a great deal. I think these are like the best superhero ones. You're right. All the different costumes,
my
all
favorite.
the different
They're super fun.
just like no one's just doing it as good, right?
They're
They're my-
fun games too, is the thing.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, they're my
really
favorite
good.
first-party PlayStation games by a long shot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, I like this one better than the first one because I follow the rules of the assignment, but two because there was less like dicking around in Spider-Man 2. It was less like map barf, a little bit more concentrated focus to the point, and just really kind of like threaded the needle in a way that I felt I was sort of juggling too many balls, spinning too many plates in Spider-Man, the first one. Silent Hill 2 is on this list because it's obviously we're going to reward horror in a major way on this list. But Silent Hill 2 really just got me through a really, sort of like weird headspace I was in about a year ago when that came out, right? Was that what it was, a year ago?
A year ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, just a year ago.
And certainly just had me abandoning everything else and just wanting to play this over and over. I think, in terms of like an improvement, right, where you're like all these Resident Evil games are like clearly quality of life improvements, I do think something like Silent Hill benefited to a much more tangible degree than maybe some of these other quality of life improvements and control improvements. Yeah, can't say enough good stuff about this. I mowed through this game and it's left an impact on me. Balatro, obviously, we can all agree on. We're there. Resident Evil 4, I've not played another game more than I've played Resident Evil 4. I think that is the game I've played the most of. Maybe first behind that is probably Shadow of the Colossus. Behind Resident Evil 4 is the game I've played the most. But yeah, I can't say anything beyond what everyone else chimed in on. Probably same goes for Claire Obscure. Claire Obscure, really the surprise for me. What am I doing playing a turn-based fucking paint game?
I know.
Like, what is this? How did I like this game? How did I come to finish it? How did I even get through the first 6 hours where like
French?
in another the French and Ben Starr, I guess. I don't know how I did this. I don't know how this became a thing. I remember when I was playing the game, Tam kept texting me and he kept being like, "You're not really playing this, are you?" And I'm like, "No, I promise I am." He's like, "Oh, you're full of shit, man. You ain't playing this." I'm like, "No, I'm playing this. I'm enjoying it. And I know things now about that genre. So thank you. Really, really good stuff. I don't know how this gets toppled for my game of the year this year. We'll see. We still got some other
Kirby
shit
Air Riders
popping
is
off.
out tomorrow. Just you wait.
That's going to be
Yeah,
backlars, I think.
What's that?
Kirby Air Riders.
Kirby Air Riders. Yeah.
No, again, the Willy Wonka tunnel does not need to be turned into a video game. I stand by that statement. Resident Evil Village. I know what you're thinking. You're like, really, Village and not 7, right? But here's how I made this calculus. Follow me, okay?
Well, first
Come
off, I
along.
wonder if 7 came out this decade is my first question, but yeah.
Did it? Oh, maybe you're right there.
No, 2017. So there we go. Question answered. That's why. But why
Right,
do
but on
you, as
but
an
on a
aside,
more-
like it more than 7?
Right, but so yes, thank you for calling me out and following the rules. That's very good. I think so 6 is dog shit, and everyone's like, "Oh, this fucking franchise is cooked. It's over. Everyone hates Resident Evil now, and this is the world we occupy." 7 comes along, and it's like, "Hey, this is gonna be okay." I bet you didn't see this coming, and how? Then 8 comes along and you're like, well, maybe 7 was kind of a fluke and now 8 they're just gonna fucking fumble on the goal line again. No. Tremendous. 8 is tremendous, and it also like breaks up things in a way that, this, when I think about Village, I think about this kind of like middle spoke of a wheel, and then there's like spokes that surround it, and that's kind of how the game's framed, where it's like there's like a centralized area and then everything sort of like skews out from the center, and I just love that beautiful sort of geography of this game. And it's obviously fucking horrifying and real weird and fucked up, and I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, and it's cheap.
Very.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool too. I have not been looking at prices until this very
How would
moment.
you possibly know that?
I know. I'm just saying. Oh wow, that's pretty good.
What website
Astrobot.
would tell you that, Jeff
Astrobot
Bakalar?
is 29 cents off, folks.
Where are you getting this information, Jeff Bakalar?
I'm looking at the site Deku Deals.
There you go.
Go buy video games. Man, Astrobot, I think is going to wind up being so much more important to Sony than anyone.
Yeah, you're right. That's what it sounds like. Yep.
It is. I feel like as the days go by, they're gonna have to make 11 more of these games. I swear to God.
It's very popular with young kids in Japan, which apparently suddenly they very much care about. So yeah.
There you go. Young kids in Japan and young kids in New Jersey. I'll have you know.
Yeah.
The Venn diagram.
So-
It's right there.
Mhm.
It's right there. You know, and I guess Beyblades now too. We learned this
Always.
week.
Fuck yeah.
Beyblades,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
She's going crazy on that anime. So yeah, Astrobot is tremendous. I just think everyone will probably take a lot of platforming cues from this thing. I don't know how quickly we see the fruits of that labor, but you know, I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, I stand by that position. Astrobot could not be more crucial to the future of Sony. So we'll see how that shakes out. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is very good, except for the Ascend power. I know everyone thinks it's very it's disgusting.
I love
It's so
it.
good.
It's
the best.
I think
It's great.
every time I play a game that doesn't have Ascend, I think I should be playing Tears of the Kingdom.
You
instead.
can ascend an enemy.
so colonoscopy adjacent that I like can't even. Sorry, it's disgusting.
I've
Otherwise,
always
the
dreamed of
game's
being a
tremendous.
colonoscopy, so this is great.
Right. Well, you can have that dream realized
Ooh,
in Tears of the Kingdom.
Grub, get lost in a colonoscopy in space.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, that now I know my role in all this finally.
That redefines
No!
that redefines
No!
Event Horizon or Black Hole. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. And then finally, I will say I will call out Jan. I would have bet money that Alan Wake 2 showed up on your top 10 of the decade so far.
It's a great game.
You turned your back on me.
I was thinking of what I would put instead of Nier Automata, and I think it would be Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
Right,
But
if you
they
followed
hadn't
the
followed
rules.
the rules, it
Yeah.
would have been there.
I'm a bad boy.
There's two reasons
Bad boy.
Alan Wake is number one
I'm a bad boy.
on my list. The first reason is Remedy pays me directly.
Sure.
The second reason is that this is the game that I tell people to play. Right? Like this is the game that when people have been detached from video games for oftentimes, a decade, I travel in a lot of different social circles and I find that this game has been the through point for a lot of people where they come back to me and they're just like, I didn't know we were doing this shit. I didn't know these are the types of things that we were doing. Because look, there's obviously dozens of great games on all of our lists, but I do think Alan Wake possesses a thing that for more I don't know, it is probably more for like a certain age and a certain familiarity maybe in your past with video games, and it really serves as like a great kind of contemporary introduction into what it is we can be doing with this type of medium. I can't tell you how many times people come back to me and just been like, dude, I play video games now because you told me to play Alan Wake
Hell
2.
yeah.
Oh, sick.
It definitely has some problems, but I do think, we're talking about being surprised, being delighted, and being horrified. Everything comes out of that game for me, and that is why, folks, it lands as my number one game of the decade, parentheses, so far.
All right, gang. So Deku Deals lovingly has done the math for us to take in all of our top 10 games of the decade and collate them mathematically into I counted, actually a top 11, not a top 10 games of the decade. But hey, I'll take it anyway. But coming in at number 11, we have Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. Number 10, Hades 2. 9, Metroid Dread.
Hell yeah.
8, the original Hades. Number 7, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Very exciting. 6, Pikmin 4. 5, Resident Evil 4. Number 4, Astrobot. Number 3, Balatro. Number 2, Elden Ring. And our favorite game, Giant Bomb's favorite game of the decade so far, is Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which I think is the only game that was on all 5 of our lists.
Yeah.
It deserves it, right?
Yeah.
More importantly, I ran a poll on Twitch. All right, so the tied for last place in having the best list
Don't you fucking do this to me.
Dan and Mike.
Wait a second. Read that again.
No.
Mike just vote?
You motherfucker. You motherfucker.
Oh, that's amazing.
I got a lot of votes. Can you do that again? I'm sorry. Oh, look at me go.
You got a bunch of last second votes. All right, yeah, you just went ahead of me there. Great.
What a scamp.
All right, so nope, hang on, it's still calculating.
We have a new last place now.
All right, no, I'm catching up again.
Okay, wait. Why don't that catch us up? I just want to say I do think it's neat that none of us had the same number 1 game on our list. Actually, we all had a different pick for number 1. Also, part of me regrets not putting Border Gate 3 on my list because I'm the only person here who has an affinity for that game, I think.
Not very good.
I think it's great that there are so many games that we didn't include something like Baldur's Gate 3. For as massive as that game is, it's like, hey, there's so much games to like over here.
All right,
I think the poll's settled.
It's settled. It should end here any second, but let's just read it as it is right now. All right, in last place, Dan Reichert with 11% of the vote. And second to last place, Jeff Grubb with 15% of the vote. In third place, Mike Minotti with 18% of the vote. Number 2, by cheating, Jan Ochoa, 27% of the vote.
What did I do? Don't hate
And
me.
number 1, with 29% of the vote, is Jerf. Although Jan continues to catch up, he might actually end up winning.
I'm a man of the people, is what it is.
Yeah.
The people's champion.
I'm happy to take this award. Thank you for having a perfect taste, everyone.
So congratulations on having the best poll or best top 10 list, Jerf. Brought back.
Could be recency biased. I went last, but
Mike was in last place until he said something, and then immediately something changed there. So he charmed the snake there a little bit.
Everyone looked. Remember how good my list was. I'm the only person who respects Ori.
All right. But yes, special shouts out to our friends over at Deku Deals. Head over to dekudeals.com/giantbomb. You can find our top 10 games of the decade so far, as well as some other fun little lists we've made. And hey, save yourself some money by using the double D. Gang, any last thoughts about video games of the decade?
Aside me having the best list, I don't know what else there's to say.
Games are good now.
Games are good.
Yeah, games are real good.
Games are pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Also, hey, there's a fun little video at the very top of the page that I think y'all should check out as well. Fun little highlights over like this year and last year. And hey, I think we're in a great spot, and I'm happy doing this thing with y'all.
Dang.
Yeah, I just I want to thank Andrew and Scott at Deku Deals for helping us out. This has been so much fun doing this.
Yes.
We're gonna keep it going through the end of the month. This was awesome. I hope we do more of this. Thank you so much. Go check out the site. Save some money.
Again, everyone watching live or listening, I want you to at us and tell us what you think the through line is for all of these games. Jerf, probably Spooky Boy. Me, Found Family. I'm curious to see what you see about everyone else. Folks, we'll catch you later. I love you. Goodbye. Mwah.